So hello everyone, in this video I'll be telling you about CSS selectors. What are CSS selectors? Let's see that. So what is CSS selector? A CSS selector is a pattern to match the elements on a web page. The style rules associated with that selector will be applied to the elements that match the selector pattern. Selector is a kind of you can think of matching the elements of a web page. Like in web page, you can match that element with the selector, and after matching, if that element matches with that selector, then we'll be able to style that. Selectors are one of the most important aspects of CSS, as they allow you to target specific elements on your web page in various ways so that they can be styled. So in different ways we can style the elements. That's the thing we can do. Several types of selectors are available in CSS. Let's take a closer look at all of them. The first one is a universal selector. Universal selector, you have to uh, you just add asterisk, which is a star symbol, and that means you want to do this thing or do the styling on all of the items. So it matches every single element on the web page or your HTML page. The universal selector may be omitted if other conditions exist on the element. This selector is often used to remove the default margins and paddings from the elements for quick testing purposes. So sometimes we use it for removing the default paddings and margins of a browser. That's we do for like that. That's why we use this star or asterisk or a universal selector. We should not use it much because it can break our application. So you can see that how it is implemented. We'll also do that practically in the next video or part 2 of this video. So you can see that we just added this star symbol, and then in the curly brackets we specified the CSS properties and values. So this is how we add universal selector. The other one is element type selector, or we can just write the element name and then we can specify the styling, what do we want to add to that element. So it is just a normal selector which we do, which we have already seen in the previous video when I was giving the example. So you can see that this is a simple selector. You can just name the tag name which you want to highlight or which you want to design. For example, in my case it is P. So I want to design this P tag, so I'm just writing this P, and after the curly brackets you have to specify the property and the value, and then terminate that property with the semicolon. So this is an element selector. We are just specifying the tag name or element name in here. The other one is ID selectors. ID selectors are specified by adding one hash symbol. An ID can be of any name. You can specify any name. An ID is used for defining unique styling for an element. If you want to style an element with ID, the ID will look like this. So you can see that it is starting with the hash symbol, and after that we can specify any name we want. Make sure it doesn't start with the number. It only starts with any symbols or underscore or any text letter or A to Z letter, any a letter. After that, you can add any number. We'll be seeing that as well in the practical manner. But make sure if you're creating an ID, you have to add this hash symbol or this pound symbol. And after that, in the curly brackets, you have to specify the property and the value. And for calling this ID, you have to call it in the element by just specifying the ID attribute inside the tag or inside the element. You just have to create an ID attribute and then you have to call this error with or any ID with without this hash symbol. You'll be seeing that practically in the next video. Let's wait for that. First of all, let's have some overview of these selectors. The other one is class selectors. Class selectors are kind of similar to ID selectors, like how we declare, but we declare classes or class selectors with the dot symbol at the start. We have to specify the dot, not the hash in this case, and we use class selectors for specifying the styling for multiple elements. If you want to give styling to multiple elements in your documents, so you can multiple selected elements, you can say. So multiple selected elements, if you want to give the styling to them, then you will be using classes. So you just have to add this dot symbol, and then after that you can name anything or write any class name. Make sure it starts with the A to Z symbol or underscore or a dollar symbol, not with a number. You have to take care. At the last or in the between, you can write the number, and after that, this pattern goes similar to the other ones, which are property and the value pair. And you can call it, also you can specify the tag name as well, like if you want to uh, specifically tell that this means that wherever this class is there called, wherever this class is called, you can use this one. But if this p dot blue is there, that means you are telling the css that only select the p elements which are having this blue class, not all the blue classes, but all the p elements which are having this blue class. P dot blue means that. So this is one type of class selectors as well. So you can use direct dot blue, or you can specify the tag name on which blue is called or this class is called. And then you can follow the same pattern, property and the value. So this was the end of slide, and we'll be learning about the selectors in the practical manner in the next video. So till then, see you, bye bye, and thank you for watching. Let's meet in the another one.